questions.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Veteran, first responder, or a patriot looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and/or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we want to put the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to Playtime. We got your 6 at 6. Now here's your host, Shad Turner of Veterans Unite Podcast and the People's Patriot Project. And as always, Patriot Pride.
All right, everybody, welcome back. There we go. Finally got my face up in front of y'all now. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of We Got Your 6 at 6. I'm your host of the Veterans Unite Podcast, Shad Turner, and someone has horrible back feed. Sorry about that. And I think we just figured it out. All right. So once again, how's everybody going? We are live with another episode, like I said, of We Got Your 6 at 6. We've been having some really crazy technical difficulties, but the one thing that always works is the Pledge of Allegiance. So I tell you what, guys, let's stand up if you can. Take your hats off like I'm about to do, and let's do the Pledge of Allegiance once I can find that little video. There we go. All right, so here we are. I pledge allegiance to
the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ha! Hot damn, we're back. Woo. How is everybody doing?
Wonderful.
This has been a week. I tell you what, it's been insane. One for me here in the Houston area, as most of you around the country know. Texas is crying because we got cold weather a week ago.
What?
I know. It gets down to 10 degrees and we all freak out because we think hell's frozen over. But
Minnesota got some snow too, you know.
True, but did Minnesota have like, I don't know, a couple thousand homes in their area with broken water lines because nobody is designed for freezing temperatures down here?
We planned ahead for that.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, Texas doesn't. Huh? But no, it turns out that, like here just in Houston, if you go to like Home Depot or Lowe's, there are like almost no plumbing supplies available. They have gotten some back in stock, but it's very limited quantities. And I mean, I think I heard somewhere there's still like thousands of homes throughout the Houston area with no running water. And my wife and I, we go to Costco last night, and we love Ozarka water. So Ozarka, if you're listening, I would love to have you as a sponsor because I drink your shit all the time. And it's the only water that we mix our baby's formula with. Until we ran out last night because nobody had any. But we go to Costco last night and they were completely sold out of water. No Kirkland water, no Ozarka water. You could buy like the fancy foo-foo caca crap, but just plain Jane water, nothing. So we go back to Costco today and they had Ozarka and that was it. There's no other. I mean, again, they had the foo-foo caca crap, but as far as just plain Jane bottled water, Ozarka had come through, restocked the store. Life was good. But yeah.
Very good.
That's been my week. I've been busy doing everything from fixing plumbing to cleaning up sheetrock debris from the ceilings that have fallen down. I ran into this one Marine that he has been working 20 hours a day for the last week and a half, trying to help fix people's homes with no water. And he said, he wakes up at 7 in the morning, heads out, and sometimes he doesn't get home till 2 in the morning because he's going out trying to fix that many broken pipes and try to get that many people back up and running. And Marines, they're the hard chargers of the world. I am not that hard charging. I took today off. If I'm past like 10 hours on a day, I'm like, I'm tired. I'm going home. So I'm
just
a slacker.
10 hours a day? Oh my gosh.
Know. Now, to be fair, he got out in 2017. I got out in 98. I've grown a little accustomed to the soft life, and he's still the hard charger out there. But anyways, so that's my world. How are y'all doing?
Really good.
That sounds like a good world. I did nothing. I stayed in my house and enjoyed. Well, we had like 45 degrees today and sunshine.
Ooh.
Yeah, melting all our snow up here.
I'm wearing shorts.
It was nice to get out. You wearing shorts?
Yes, and I was wearing shorts outside.
Outside even.
Because it was like 70.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all, but it's cold here still, and it's 71 degrees.
Oh my god. Yeah, these guys were putting jackets on yesterday, just so you guys all know. We were talking late afternoon and they're like, I gotta go get a jacket. It's getting chilly. I'm like, I don't want to hear chilly at 70.
Well, when you're used to 115 degree weather during the summer, 70 degrees is cold.
That's hilarious. I love it.
It's hot. It's warm out here in the sun. I have a sweatshirt on. I'm like,
that is awesome. And Mark, how are things in your world?
I came off one of the I'm going to call it great weekends of life. Got to celebrate some championship wrestling out in Wyoming State. Flew in there to watch the nephews wrestle. Got to celebrate some birthdays. Got to celebrate some reunions. And this is the tough one. I got to meet with the Gold Star family of Cal Call. And what an amazing, just endearing time, and being able to put my paws around a good friend. And so those who don't know, we lost Cal Call on February 2nd at Fort Campbell. And it's really close to home, and it is what it is, but all of our soldiers are close to home for me. So I don't like hearing any of them, but when you get the chance to put your arms around a Gold Star family member and just Tony, my buddy, just said, every day's getting better. And I told him, you know what? It's not meant to get better, brother. This is sucky stuff. But we will hold you up when we need to hold you up. And hopefully he'll have the tools to help hold others up in the future. It's not now, but hopefully in the future that can be the piece. I got goofy stuff going on here with technology. As you see, I have two screens up, but I'm casting on my phone, and I don't have a camera on my PC for some reason today. So we were jerry-rigging it. Is that what we can say?
Yep.
and I just got the notification my phone's dying. So I'm going to let you guys continue on. I've been traveling all day. I've been on the airport, at the airport, flew in to Denver, flew out to here, and got here with 10 minutes left to spare. So we're doing good.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well,
so far, so good.
Yeah. What do you got, Andrea? You've got anything interesting for us?
I got, you know me, I got all the smart stuff here. So let me just talk about this a second. Gosh, well, first of all, you guys, and this is kind of a personal note for our People's Patriot Project. We have a committee. Well, we have a big committee, so we'll be breaking it up a little. We did this thing with Christmas families last year, and it kind of exploded, and in a really good way. And so we are putting committees together so that Mark and I can keep, and Eric and Lee and Matt can keep working on things that need to move forward and holding down the base while our committee starts putting things together for our Christmas families. And so I'm going to get the ick out of the way. We got a family that 2 little kids, ages 3 and 5, and we don't know how long Dad's going to be with us. Dad's a veteran and having some health issues that may take him away. And we're trying to help put their Disney trip together. So we're going to be doing a big ask. We got a lot of people to round it up already, but that's what our committees are going to be working on. Take care of that. We played with the Christmas in July, but we aren't going to try to wait till July. So those of you that are hearing this, be ready for us to do some asking, some favors and whatnot in the very near future. We'll be doing that. I just wanted to run a quick reminder, you guys. So our military and our first responders, you guys, just three. Last week I shared a bunch. Our first responders and our military, they serve willingly. It's not a, hey, yeah, do I have to come in today? It's I signed up. I'm doing this. This is my job, and I think we'll hear from our guest later how he's really liking what he's doing right now. Our first responders and our military, you guys, they make sacrifices. They might be home on the weekend. They might be home today and not tomorrow or till the next day or till the next year. And so think about those sacrifices that they make to keep us safe and preserve our freedoms. And you know what? They represent us around the world. And again, I believe Randy, our guest, will be sharing his around the world excitement with that piece. But they're out there doing their jobs every day, every year. We want to celebrate them every time we come on. Coming up on March 3rd. So Wednesday, oh my goodness, it's my birthday as well. But that National Anthem Day, and just have a lorry here, but the song, oh my gosh, I don't know what I put, but the nation's song. And around the world they do this, but this is our national anthem with the Star Spangled Banner. The rich history of the Star Spangled Banner, and I read this like every 5 years, but Francis Scott Key, of course, found himself aboard a British negotiating piece of Dr. Williams, a prisoner of the British troops. His was to tell the British to debark out of fear. He made close their hands. Verses 13:1.
Yeah, you're breaking up real bad,
Yeah.
Andrea.
Yeah.
We got some connection issues.
Oh. I'm on this. National Anthem on the 3rd.
So Andrea, let's you do a restart. Let's throw up a song. This is one of the songs that we just recently kind of gifted, and this is from Stephen Samo. This is also a song that one of the first, not the first responders, Gold Star family got to hear and listen as we gave a memorial to their son. And so we're just going to run this. Andrew, do a quick restart, and we'll jump right back into it. Okay.
All right.
got 40 hours of paycheck, the pocket of these jeans. Got these Jensen's cranking George Strait circa 1993. Got the windows down and my arm laid up on the back of this bench seat. I'm headed toward the drive, the sweet little Cajun queen. Life is good, got that sun shining down on me. Life is good, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Got my troubles in the rear view, Corona in the igloo, nothing's gonna get to me. Life is good, yeah, life is good. Pull on over to the shoulder, baby, can I have this dance? Truck doors open, she moves closer, persuaded die a happy man. Her head on my chest, my hand on her hips, honeysuckle floating on the breeze. Hope these cars flying by don't pay us no mind, cause I don't ever wanna leave. Life is good, got that sun shining down on me. Life is good, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Got my troubles in the rear view, Corona in the igloo, nothing's gonna get to me. Life is good, yeah, life is good. I ain't worried about nothing. Well, I ain't worried about a thing. I ain't worried about nothing. I ain't worried about a thing. Life is good, got this sun shining down on me. Life is good, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Got my troubles in the rear view, Corona in the igloo, nothing's gonna get to me. Life is good, yeah, life is good. Yeah, well, life is good.
Yeah, that song has completely changed my life now.
All right. I am going to mute one of your mics there, Mark.
Oh, they're supposed to all be.
Yeah, because when both are open, we get an echo.
All right, that should be better.
There you go.
Yeah, that song's complete. Thank you, Stephen John, for your amazing craft and talent. And just sat there with my buddy this weekend, and he's like, "That's amazing." And so we're actually going to try and make a connection there and just let that happen the way it needs to happen. And
gotcha.
So, Andrea, awesome. You were talking about the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah. Do I sound better?
Absolutely.
100%.
Okay. I switched out my earbuds. That might be it. So, I just all the way back to Francis Scott Key. So there's the history on that. I don't want to use up 5 minutes on that, but March 3rd, 1931, President Herbert Hoover signed a congressional order into law making the Star Spangled Banner America's national anthem. So every year we commemorate that signing into law. March 4th, I like this one. This is National Hug a GI Day. So this is the only day on the calendar that's also a military command. March 4th. Got it? Got it?
Right.
Busy.
Yeah, right. There's 4th and 4th, right? So it's appropriate that this be the day we celebrate servicemen and servicewomen in our lives with National GI Day. Soldiers in the U.S. military, including members of the Army, Air Force, and Marines, have been referred to as GIs since 1940, and today is the day we celebrate everything they do for us with a big hug, either literal or metaphorical. A hug or a handshake, send a care package, send a virtual thanks.
Miss
It's all
Eichmann,
good. Yes.
I don't want to speak for everyone, but we have a lot of soldiers online. Could you help us with metaphorical, please?
Oh, metaphorical. So these days it would be virtual, I guess. Metaphorical means I'm not really going to put my arms around you, but I'm going to send you happy hugs. How's that? Yeah, that's the words. That's the words, the hug words, not the actual physical. So, Kim, always good to see.
Kim is one of our greatest supporters, and she just comes in and she just delivers every week. And she's always got something. She's got her ear out for a great musician that we get to bring on, and brought Sexy Scotty Sexton of the Forgotten 22 to our camp, and that was what an amazing this platform. What we're doing in joining organizations to help support. And now we've got another, I'm kind of jumping in the middle, and I didn't even get the chance to really screen our guests. But we have our guests in here with us, Randy and Angela Baldridge. Andrea, you're the one that kind of got this thing all set up. Why don't you give us some information?
Absolutely. I'd love to introduce these guys. We had such an awesome visit yesterday. And so as a little history, probably about a month ago, I started thinking I need to really get some first responders on here. We have first responders, but it seems to be a majority of military, and that's okay because that's what we do. And I just wanted to really start focusing and in having them in our group as well. And so as I started interviewing our first responders, I would also meet their spouses. And it struck me because of conversations on the side and conversations around the point that we also need to include the spouses in on these conversations because being married to a teacher is not easy from what I hear. I'm not married to one. So from what I hear, it's not easy, but gosh dang, I don't think our jobs as teachers really compare to what first responders bring home. So I went in search of that. I had Chris Moore on, and a couple weeks later, his wife came on. And I think I had spoken to Randy quite some time ago. And I started to push him harder. I'm like, let's get you signed up. Let's pick a day. And he offered actually for his wife to come and speak and share her viewpoint of being married to a first responder. We need to flip roles somewhere down the road. So if you guys have the opposite, and please don't take this as any sort of sexist, but if our female happens to be a first responder and the husband could share as well, somewhere along the way, we need that story because their jobs are not easy. They are the constant support. And so these guys came on and we had such an awesome chat. Now, Randy's got a big list of accomplishments in his past, and I'll let you share your new job, Randy. But he also is the founder of the, I just don't want to get this wrong. First, there's our friends in the, let me just pull up the banner. First responder, oh my gosh, Randy, I practiced. First responder fellowship, there we go, and support group, and peer support group. And so he's got that going. And Angela is a very supportive person. So I'm going to let you take it, Randy.
Okay, no, thank you. And first, me and my wife would like to thank you for everything that you all are doing to fight this disease that we have with the PTSD and the veteran and first responder suicides. This is something that needs to be brought to light a lot more than it has been in the past. And I think we're starting to make a dent, but it needs to go a whole lot farther. So thank you so much for everything that you all are doing to help support this. I am a veteran. I started my service career in the U.S. Navy, where I did 4 years active duty as a Navy Seabee. I was stationed in Kuwait and then again in Somalia during the Gulf War. When I left, I always knew I wanted to get into law enforcement. My father was in law enforcement. My grandfather was in law enforcement. So I already knew that's what I wanted to do. So as soon as I left the military, I went into the police academy and I was hired by a police department in Southern California. I did 6 years there before I decided to go into the Department of Corrections and work in the prison system. That was a mistake. I tell everybody I probably should have stayed in the police department. It was a heck of a lot safer. It was, yeah, my wife's clearing her throat right now, but that's where I started running into all my problems. Within the first couple years, I was seriously hurt during a fight with some inmates and ended up having to have surgery because of it. After the surgery, they had prescribed me a bunch of pain medication because back then, and this was what, honey, about 2003, about 2003. Back then, the pain management people that they would send you to didn't care about how many meds that they would give you. They would prescribe you anything that you wanted, and they ended up giving me something like 80 milligram Oxycontin, 80 milligram Oxycontin a day, plus 280 Norco for the whole month. And that's the first time I ever had taken any kind of pain medication. And when I took it, I absolutely loved it. It not only helped with the pain of the injuries, but it helped the mental pain that I was experiencing from everything that I was seeing in the prison system. And that continued on for years and years and years before I would get hurt again, and they would just give me more pain medication. It was really after starting with the prison system that I started seeing the problem with the suicides. I would get notifications. It seemed like every other week of somebody that I was close to, that I work with, that had committed suicide, and that just made me want to take even more of those medications just to control the pain of it. You fast forward to a couple years back. I was involved in another fight where I was attacked by a few inmates, and that pretty much ended my career because of the injuries I sustained. The nightmares started kicking in really, really hard, and the pain medication just wasn't working for me anymore. So I turned to alcohol to try to boost the effects up even more, to control everything. It got pretty bad there for a while, and I finally, after a year and a half or so, honey, of being off, when you're messed up on alcohol and and pain pills, it's kind of hard to keep track of time. But she's saying it's a little over 2 years. I finally got tired of it, and I went to my wife and told her, you know what, honey, I need help. And I was still getting those messages from former partners every other day about, and that's the only messages they would send me is guess who committed suicide, and we lost so and so the other day, and I was just getting tired of it. So my wife ended up researching for 3 days straight, 8 hours a day, on different rehabilitation facilities that specialized for military and first responders. And she finally found one. So I got myself admitted to it. And that's all it was military and first responders. And we were able to talk to each other and understand each other, unlike other rehab facilities that really doesn't understand our culture. And I got involved in this the support group called First Responder Fellowship, and that was probably the best therapy of all. Was being able to talk to other first responders and veterans about my issues, and finding out that they have gone through the same issues too. So that got me thinking that, hey, I was way down south in Southern California, and I live in Central California. I was thinking to myself, you know what, this isn't really going to work out, because when I get discharged from this facility, I'm not going to be able to commute back down here and be able to talk to everybody. So I decided, hey, you know what, I know there's other first responders and veterans out there that need help too. So why don't we just, form something, a group online where we can talk to each other and just lay it out there and help one another. So that's when I started. It's the group is called First Responder Military Fellowship and Support. So we started out as a very, very small group. There was only a handful of us from the original group that was the in-person group when I was in rehabilitation. And it just exploded from there. And now we got almost 6,000 members in 64 different countries. And they're all first responders, military, and family members. And that has probably helped me more than anything, besides my wife. She understands. She's been with me the whole time during all of this. God bless her. I don't understand why she's still with me. She claims herself as a karate expert just because of all the nightmares and fighting in my sleep and waking up with black eyes, and she's become pretty good in self-defense. So she's been amazing. She's an amazing wife. She's an amazing support person. But that's pretty much how I've gotten here.
And so you talked a little bit about those well, can you tell us, like, what is your first response? What is the first thing you want people to do when they reach out to you?
To be honest. If they reach out to me, I want them to be honest on what's going on. And believe me, there have been several of those I call them family members that have been honest, and they'll tell me that they're in crisis mode right now. That they've even sent me pictures of them attempting suicide. And luckily, we do have the resources in our group to go out and locate those members. That if we ask them, well, do you want help? And if we think that if they say no, but we think they're truly in danger, and we think that they really are going to hurt themselves, then we do have the resources to go out and find them, and we've been pretty successful in doing that. But just for them to be honest, they all, I've been really free with my email, with my messenger, with my phone number. Everybody in the group knows it, has it, and can reach out to me or any of my admin at any time. My admin that I have in there right now have been doing a wonderful, wonderful job of taking care of the group. I had to step back for a little while because of personal problems and family issues. But I recently started a new position at one of our local hospitals doing security work. I found out really quick that retirement it's boring. And my whole life has been about service to others. So I had to get back into that service field, and I thought, what better than being in healthcare, where I can take care of those that are really in need. So that's what I really want is just for them to be honest, and if you have any problems, let us know, and we're there for you because we understand.
Absolutely. And do you have a pretty good balance in first responders and military, or do you find maybe because of your location or where your most recent work has been that it leans one way or the other at the moment?
No, we have a pretty good balance of both military and first responders, but we are starting to have a really big increase on or with the Gold Star families. I'm getting messages several times a week from these Gold Star families that are telling me their story and want to tell me about their loved one that they lost, and they just want somebody to listen to them and somebody that understands.
Absolutely. And maybe this advice wouldn't be coming from you personally, but if a family member calls you and they're concerned, what do you have them do right away? Do you have them give you the name and number of their person, or do you suggest they get help somewhere else first?
Well, I let them tell me whatever they want to tell me, but we do have other resources that are available within the group that they can talk to professionals. And we have several professionals in the group too. We have counselors, therapists, doctors. So if they want that kind of service, we're able to refer them to them.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
About the first responder or the military person. Like if
What's that,
a
babe?
family member calls you and their military or first responder loved one, they feel like they're in crisis. Do you have that? Do you get their number? Do you?
Oh, okay. Well, my wife's asking me about
I think that's what she was asking. Is what I'm saying.
whether
Andrew was asking whether or not if a loved one, like if I reached out and said Randy needs help, blah blah blah. Do you ask for their number? Do you have them look for help elsewhere? I think that's what she was saying. Am I wrong, Andrew?
No, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
So you follow through with
Oh yeah,
the
we
actual
absolutely.
person then.
If somebody is in crisis mode, we absolutely will follow through with them, and we'll refer them out to whoever they need to speak to, whether it be another first responder or if it's a spouse wants to talk to another spouse for advice, we'll do that. Or we have so many professionals in the group right now that have volunteered their time and their services that they will take on, that responsibility as well.
We were having a conversation right before you guys came in, and I'm not sure I even asked this question last night, but if I'm in crisis, is your Facebook group the fastest way for me to find you or people on your board?
The fastest way is to call the helplines, and we have several of those within the group. There are several, the suicide hotlines, we have the veteran hotlines, we have the several support groups for first responders that are in person. But the fastest way is to just contact, one of us in person. And like I said, everybody out there has my phone number, has Angela's phone number, has our emails, has our messenger, where we'll, contact you right away and we'll refer you to the help that you need, whether it just be talking with one of us or somebody, that's a professional, a doctor, therapist, counselor.
Awesome. That is awesome.
I'm sorry?
Is there a geographical area that you service?
No, it's national. We have it right now. We have the support services for the U.S. and Canada, but we also have members that are in 64 different countries right now. So we can always find somebody to step in if you're calling outside of the U.S.
How did you go about connecting this network of? It sounds like you've got a deep and strong network of professionals and people that are available to you to help with the calls and the references and how did you go about getting that? And again, I'm not trying to grab on any trade secrets. I mean, when we get done and get into post show, definitely our goal is to collaborate with all of our brothers and sisters and organizations and create this amazing tackle box of resources that can just grab because one of the pieces you said is fully when your first responder and or veteran or service member take the time to reach out, they're in crisis right now.
Correct.
They need an answer right now, whether it's a conversation, and the answer doesn't necessarily need to, and I don't like using the word fix, but they need some resolve to what they're dealing with at that exact moment.
Mm-hmm.
One of the nightmare pieces I'm hearing, and this is a piece why the People's Patriot Project came into play, was veterans and first responders were reaching out to organizations that were not answering calls. They were not answering emails. They were not providing, or they would say, oh, yeah, thanks for calling us. We can't facilitate that. Why don't you reach out to this other organization?
Right.
And so we decided to take that step out. And when I can't cover the need of the person, I legitimately call whoever's in our network that can go and help that person specifically. I mean, we've got Brian Gibson right now is in the back room, but he's with Project Die Hard, and we've got Scotty Sexton, who's part of the Forgotten 22, and we're building this amazing opportunity and network of people and I'm excited that you guys can come on, because now when I get someone from California, I can call up Randy Baldridge and say, Randy, I've got a guy. Would you like to talk to him right now? Here's Private Billy Joe, and he wants to talk to you. And it cuts out all that loose meat and allows them an opportunity to, hey, and I'm going to say this right now. If anyone is sitting on their bed or their couch or anything, and you are struggling with thoughts that aren't necessarily a piece that is making your world better, I can tell you right now, everyone that's on the screen is here to listen to your story. That's the great piece. Brian Gibson, he's waving. We'll get him in here. But Brian Gibson wants to be part of that as well. And so reach out, make that call. Worst case scenario is we're going to have a conversation with you. Best case scenario is we will put the tools in play that you need to have to see tomorrow. And that's all I want you to do is consider tomorrow.
And I'm sorry. And the one thing I have learned, though, over the last year and a half that since I've started this is that people just want to be heard. And it's not necessarily by a counselor, or a therapist, or a psychologist. People want to be heard by people that understand. And the majority of us, there is nothing that we've heard that we haven't experienced. And that's what they want is just somebody to listen, somebody that has gone through what they've gone through and that understands. And majority of the time it works. But we have so many out there, and all the resources that we have right now has come by word of mouth. The more we've grown, the more people have really gotten into it, and the more messages I get saying, hey, I really want to help, or I want to be there, for somebody, please refer them, to me. I'm a therapist, or I'm a professional counselor, or I'm a veteran, a combat veteran that has gone through it, and I'm willing to help. So those are the majority of the resources that we have.
You're exactly 100% accurate, because I can tell you personally that 90% of the people that call us just need to be heard.
Exactly.
They just want to. They're like, oh my gosh, I have an example that just recently happened. He called in. I couldn't get to the phone right away, but we have kind of a plan to make sure that we contact within 10 minutes anyone that reaches into our network. And I called him, and he's like, oh my gosh, you called back. And I'm like, well, of course I called back. He goes, you don't know how many people, and that scares me, because if this person has taken the time to call or to write or to reach out for help, and you're not returning the calls, that's another piece we're here for. We want to cut out the fluff. Right. I'm not here to attack any other organization. We don't do that. But at the same time, there's some out there that don't have the bandwidth and or the resources to accommodate the need. And to be honest, if you're doing that, either join us or hang it up, because I don't want to lose a brother and sister because you're too busy doing your day job. And, I get stuck in that all the time. And if you're not going to be there, then hang it up because it's dangerous. It's dangerous for those that are reaching and looking for help. So,
right.
Amen, brother. Speak it, speak it, speak it.
And I have so many people out there that are willing to help. In fact, my admins that have stepped in and pretty much have been doing this full time now. God bless them. When I'm not available, they jump right in and they do everything they can to help, whether it be listen or to refer them to somebody that will understand. A lot of times they'll actually put it out there with the permission of whoever's in trouble. We'll put it out there and say, hey, one of our family members is in crisis mode right now. This is kind of the situation they're going through. So if anybody wants to help, please respond. And within a minute, we have 100 different responses saying, forward them to me, or this is my messenger, this is my email, I'll talk to them. So, I think it's been wonderful. And I get these messages every single day saying, thank you so much that, I was really contemplating committing suicide or hurting myself or doing something, dumb. But the other members in this group really helped me and I feel much better. So that's something I'm extremely, extremely proud of.
Isn't that humbling to hear that?
Very, very humbling.
It's like, I'm just here taking care of my brothers and sisters. I'm doing what I know is right. And when you get that call, it's just like, oh my gosh, I know what we're doing. The energy, the effort, the whole thing is worth it. And I'll go to the grave with that one for sure.
Yeah. Well, when they come out and say, you know what, you saved my life, and it's not like, well, I didn't save your life. You guys are saving my life every single day.
Amen. Amen. How do you guys fund what you're doing?
We don't. It's a Facebook group, and everything has been word of mouth. We don't really ask for any funds. We don't even really allow posts for any fundraisers. It's strictly a support group for those that are in need.
I love it.
Yeah. Any kind of post that's put up there on, GoFundMe's or I take everything by a case basis anyways. And if it's something that's super, super important, then, I'll think about it, but we try to steer away from anything to do with fundraising because that's not what we're about. We're not about fundraising. We're about support.
Sure.
Well, brother Randy, I totally agree with you. We're about support, but like my program, right? Mm-hmm. We want to give veterans a year free of charge in a safe, secure place to get the help they need.
Right.
Right. Well, that needs fundraising because I'm not a billionaire. Right. Okay. That needs fundraising.
Right. I understand that, but that's the beauty of a Facebook group is there's no funds. It's just a word of mouth.
But that's the same way we're going to get our facility up and running.
Right.
Is by word of mouth, because I will never authorize $10 million in an ad campaign. I will never pay somebody to endorse us. Okay. I do not take a salary. I'm a retired sergeant first class. And for the past 3 years, Project I hired, basically, I can't mortgage my house anymore. I've sold my motorcycle. This is how dear this mission is to me because it keeps me alive.
Right.
But yet, when I reach out, Mark is like one of the first ones to say, hey, brother, come on to the show. We're going to work together. I've already referred up to Andrea and Mark. They helped out a veteran of mine. Right? This is it. This is the network. So our word of mouth that we need is, hey, look at them at least. That's it.
Right, and that's and by all means that we will put those other groups out there and support those other groups. Just because that we don't in my particular group will ask for donations or funds if we know of a group or organization that is and that our members really want to donate to, we'll promote them all day long.
Well, hit me offline.
Oh,
Okay,
absolutely,
because
absolutely.
right now we're in crisis mode because we had 20 acres and a 3,000 square foot building donated to us.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, well, we need 60 more people to give $22 a month so we can pay the utilities, the insurance, so I can get my volunteers to work so we can get this facility up and running.
That's awesome. That's
You
awesome. Yeah,
know?
and if that's something that you wanted to post, say in my group, then absolutely I would support that 100%. It's just our group.
Oh yeah, I totally.
We don't ask for the
Yeah.
donations, but I will support groups that supports veterans and law enforcement officers as long as I believe that it's a legitimate group and they really are out there to help support. Then absolutely I will support them and let them advertise that in our group.
All right, brother. I say hit me offline. We can talk. I have sister charities on my website, right?
Absolutely.
And right now, from what I just seen here the past couple minutes, you seem like a good charity to put on our website because one of my litmus tests is you don't get a paycheck.
Yep.
Okay, we're a true nonprofit.
That's absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to, because we try to stay within our hour, but this is a good topic and we're going to keep rolling with this. So I hope you guys don't mind. We're keeping you a little bit later because we haven't even heard from Angela yet. So we're going to jump in. And you know what, any viewers out there, if you have questions, please put your questions up there. Thank you for those that came behind the scenes a little bit. We always appreciate your questions. We are going to, and Randy, if you don't mind, I'm going to bring Angela on and I'm going to let her talk a minute about, and you can jump in, Angela, but go ahead and share. You can share a little backstory if you want to, but then I want you to tell me about when you realized this job was harder than you thought it might be, being the spouse of a first responder and or military.
Oh, maybe I'd leave. I'm like, oh. Well, I always wanted to marry a man in uniform. Little did I know, the things that would come to light. And, this man wouldn't take Excedrin for a headache. And, and my first husband was an alcoholic, and I swore that this was going to be part of my life. And he wasn't at first, and he had that surgery, and like I told you, when we talked before, that I knew he was addicted the first he took, and I was like, oh no. And but he sacrificed so much, to raise our family. To he made the money, and I made the wheels turn, but you got to have grease to make it turn. So he's very, very good at that, but he struggled a lot. And one of our biggest issues is I always thought he was hiding something or not being honest with me, or he must have been cheating, and it was really just that he was in his own head about the things he would see or dealt with or whatnot. And so, he would come home and he'd be obviously a black eye, burnt scrapes, shot in the knee. I mean, the list goes on. He almost lost his arm the first 3 months I was married to him. And yeah, he was bit by a brown moose at work and almost lost his complete arm. And I'm like, I've been his wife for 3 months. I'm not signing anything. I called his mom and I was like, I think you need to come down here. So, yeah, and I'm just like, it's been a lot. It's been a lot, but it's doable. You can. We don't have. I'm breaking up. Am I breaking up?
It sounds good to me.
Up. Okay, they can be fine. So, he, we don't have children together. We each have children. Both our second marriage, and we didn't have to be together. We like each other and we love each other, and and now kids are grown up and gone, and it's possible. We made commitment and we're seeing it through, and no, it's not always been easy. And there have been times. Well, he's going down to Huntington Beach and, you know, living in mansions and going through rehab and this and that. And I'm like, must be nice, you know? And, you know, and I just, sometimes I guess I'm feeling sorry for myself or whatever. But, you know, I'm like, how is this fair? Like, I need a rehab. Like, your PTSD is giving me PTSD, you know? And, I mean, literally, I, you know, would wake up with black eyes and, you know, and him just, you know, so sorry. And he didn't even know he was doing what he was doing, you know? And so I wake him from afar, poke him with a stick or, you know, I'm careful. You know, I know not to sneak up on him or, you know, put hands on him before he hears me or, you know, just things that you learn. But, you know, I think something that first responder military wives need to know is that it's possible to stay married and be happy. And because they're, I mean, in the Department of Corrections, divorce is like 90% of people. Like we're the rare people, you know. And so it's, you know, it is possible though. It's not for the weary, that's for sure. You know, you have to be willing to stand toe to toe with them, and you know, and not take their crap either. But and try to be empathetic as you can be, because what do you know? They're not telling you anything. So it's hard, you know, but it's worth it. He's worth it to me. So
I have a question.
What's that?
Our last spouse was out on the East Coast, and you guys are out on the West Coast. And so she talked about how with when he started working, he's a firefighter, and there was a meeting for the spouses, and they brought them in and talked to them and kind of explained what to expect. And so now you have military and first responder view. Some have told me military has a strong connection with other spouses and other family and help you kind of realize some of the things that may be coming up. But she said that you hadn't met the other spouses, and that was, you were supposed to figure it out kind of from there with first responder network. Is that kind of the same that you?
I would say yes, because the people that I met that are first responders, and maybe not both military and first responders like my husband, but what I say, I know what they're saying. So let me talk. So you know, saying that you know, most of the first responders that I have met when he was down in rehab, and we would do family week or whatever, and most of them were they're recluse. They're not wanting to. They're all either have anxiety or social disorder or whatever it is. Everybody wasn't hanging out, for what reason I don't know, because I'll hang out with everybody. I'm, you know, what parties that I'll go, you know, and so. Yeah, I'm like, you know what, this is just really weird, and they're just, a lot of them are just to themselves, and so, no, I wasn't prepared. His ex-wife prepared me, but I chose not to believe her because I just thought she was trying to run me off. So, but as I learned things he was doing, I'm like, oh God, I should have listened earlier, you know. So that, and we're actually friends, you know, believe it or not. And so, yeah, no, I think that they should, if you're going to get married or you are married, they should give the spouses a good, you know, this is, you know, what, and you know, this is what you can expect. You know, I don't know that anybody would really sign for stuff like my husband's done if they did that, though. So, A. And B, military and first responders should be mandatory monthly with someone to talk to. Maybe not a professional, but maybe just another, or they fellowship, you know, like an AA, but for their kind, you know, because when I found a rehab for him, I knew it had to be with people they talk the same language, and you know, and I'm over here like, what, you know, and maybe that's why I don't understand a lot of it, but you know, I mean, by the grace of God, I did find one, and why there was only one at the time in California, don't ask me. I need to open a business is what I need to do.
No, you know, that's exactly what we've been thinking, is we need to put these connections together. Yeah.
How can they think that they see all of this stuff and it doesn't affect the human mind or emotions or thought process, or that they don't want to bury themselves in any substance.
Right.
I don't know how they think that at all.
I really want to bridge our East Coast and our West Coast families here and get this conversation going soon, because again, it goes back to the thing Randy was talking about earlier. Be honest and truthful. And that's the only goal here. The spouses and the families of first responders, enlisted, and veterans are the unsung heroes in all this. They see the trauma of the trauma, and they're there supporting. And you know what? Sometimes all of us knucklehead men and knucklehead strong women like to bottle that stuff up inside. And so we need to get to the place where we are saying, I can see something's there. And you know what? It may not be a piece where the spouse needs to go talk to their spouse, but maybe as a collective group, we can say, hey, we can see, we know, we understand. And the support across the board is needed. And if we have everyone having the conversation, being in the same place at the same time, we save lives. And that's the way. I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about
It's horrible. Yeah. It's horrible. They feel they're such, well, I say they like they're all men. No, they're not all men. But for my husband, could you see him going to any? I'm surprised he came to me and said he needed help. I mean, I was like, okay. And I got right on it, but I would never say going to his captain or anybody and saying, like, I have a problem. You know, yeah, right. No, ever. I'm surprised he said anything to me.
And that's why service people are service people, is because they're always looking out for the other person, and that's it. Right. So I have a question now. You guys were having a debate. Something about how much, is this an unresolved debate yet?
It's going to be resolved. We're both talking because
it's always ongoing.
It's like let me in a little bit, because I just think he's hiding. I mean, it's all the disease, and that he feels like I can handle some of it, you know. But you don't have to tell all the gory crap. But you can be like, it was a hard day, babe, or when he just says nothing, I know it's bullshit.
Right.
I'm a very strong believer in secondary PTSD, which can be passed on to your spouse or your children. And that's something I've tried all along to protect my family from, is coming home and telling these, quote, war stories and exposing her to the real ugly stuff.
But you're screaming in your sleep anyways.
Yeah, she still sees it, but she doesn't need to know all the details to everything. And that's just something I believe in. And most military and first responders that I've talked to, agree with that they want to protect their family, and they don't want to expose them.
It didn't have to be the stories of trauma. For me and my children, it was just the pager going off sometimes.
Right.
And my children knew that, okay. Now, we got through that. We had those conversations, but I've heard some just terrible, when you got pagers and radios laying around, the stories of open mic conversations that have happened that have caught family members in the middle of it. And that's devastating. But
well, for us, it would just be something like, coming home to, with a busted arm or a broken nose or a black eye.
Or I'm at the hospital being treated.
Right. Or calling her saying, honey, I'm going to be late because they sent me to the hospital because of an injury. But anything beyond that, though, I just didn't feel like she needed to know the details, and have it affect her more than what she's already seen.
Well, and sadly, it also, when we're honoring our heroes, because we do lose some heroes daily, 17 to 75 every day, and we try hard as much as we can to honor them. And just by being part of that helps, that lets people know, or families know, that this stuff can sneak into their lives, and they don't want to be part of that. When I met with my Gold Star father this weekend, he had his pin sitting there, and he's like, here's the award you never want to get. And I'm just like, put my paws on him, give him a big hug. I'm with you, brother. And he's right. But we still got to move forward every single day. And I hope we move forward every single day with everyone in our backyard who are there with us and we've served with.
Agreed.
That's so I'm gonna I think put it together with Angela's words of because I heard two things in there. You called his mother.
My phone's gonna die.
And you are friends with his ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm hearing from all of that is you need support from others to help you help them and be supportive of them.
I thought maybe they would know something that I didn't. That like what's going on? Like, is this normal? Is this like is there something I should know? Or when I was a very new wife, it took me. I caught on very quick, though, very very quick. And I can't remember the quote I said yesterday. And you said, "Oh, I think I might use that," and I can't remember what I said.
Oh my goodness! And you used the word endure. It can be you can. Oh my gosh! I gotta look it up before we do this. But you put it all together in a nutshell. Just how to be that support. You don't ruffle the feathers. You just stand by and then lean on those who can help you.
Right.
So
I have to say though that over 20 years
of doing this, that I couldn't have done any of this without the support of my wife. I mean, she has been remarkable. She's been amazing. And I haven't been the perfect husband, but she's always been there for me. She's always stood by my side, and just she's an amazing person.
Andrea, but I did say I'm not easy and I'm not a cakewalk.
No, she's not. No.
You know what? We wouldn't want you to be, because then that wouldn't. I don't think that would work either. You've got to be.
You would know it's a lie. You would know it's a lie.
Sometimes you need some tough love, and she gives a lot of that to me. So.
Very good. Very good. I don't know. Do you guys have any more questions? This has been amazing. You guys have been amazing. Mark, Shad, Brian, do you have any more questions?
Well, first I got to apologize to the group. It was my daughter's birthday, so we took her out to dinner, and it was all this rigmarole. But no, you're right, Angela, God bless you, because Randy, same thing. Without my wife, I wouldn't be here, okay? Everybody says that I'm whooped because when she says, hey, I want to go do this, we go do it. No. 26 years in the Army, a few combat deployments. She raised my kids, took care of my house. That's called respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mutual. I just heard it. It's mutual.
And I was just telling Andrea, we had a pipe burst in our house when he was gone this last time. And I'm like, I'm over here in a house with no water, flushing the toilet, carrying
water to the toilets to flush them, and and you're down there in a man having a good old time, and so those are the things that But anything I want, he lets me have, and doesn't complain, or I can have whatever it is I want, and I try my best not to ask for a lot, but sometimes there's things that I just want, and he's never told me no.
Right. She deserves it. There's not too many women or men out there that can be spouses,
responders, and veterans, and be as strong as they are. And that's why the divorce rate is so high. And it's very, very uncommon nowadays to see somebody or to see a couple that has been around, like me and Angie has in the last 19 years. If I was her, I probably would have left a long time ago. But she has been very, very strong and supportive, and it's probably the whole reason why I'm still alive, honestly.
Well, Andrea, look, I'm not going to lie. There are some things she drags me to. I go complaining and screaming, okay? Okay, there's just some things that, but I still go, and I put my smiley face on, and I go, hi, we're here.
Yep.
Well, you guys, this has been awesome. Mark, you want to put your message out there to everybody? and let them know what they can do if they want to join us in our after show?
Absolutely. So again, we've reached our hour, which is fine, and we've gone beyond our hour. If you're interested in being part of the post show, we come together, and this is where we start the collaboration and making sure we're working together, and we have all of our resources in place to make sure we catch every single veteran and first responder that reaches out to us. We are pushing to be the shock and awe in the support of veterans and first responders. We're looking to turn heads. Our hopes are we're saving lives every day, and that we also create the opportunities to make our heroes whole again while making them a proactive part of their home and society. Happy heroes do make for happy communities, and I do think that this is an essential mission, and that these are essential assets for our communities. We are and want to be that opportunity. We are the beacon of hope. We are the opportunity to continue to serve for those who want to continue to find a place to serve, and for those who didn't have a chance to serve. Please reach out to us. Look into those. If you see someone in trouble, let us know. If you're feeling in trouble, let us know. We have our information everywhere, and I know that Randy and Angela are both be an essential piece of what we're trying to get done, and Brian with the Project iHeart. And right now, we're looking at over a year of doing this podcast. We've got roughly 60 different organizations across the country that we can get you the help that you need. And so don't worry about that stigma, because I don't think at any point you've seen us mention or glorify or divulge who our sources are, and that's not our style. And we may share the story, but we won't share the individual, and that's the important piece. And so, zero stigma here, brothers and sisters. We get it, and we understand, and it's just been an awesome show to put our mission out there, and we appreciate it. Thank you, Randy and Angela, for being on. Brian, as always, thank you for being here. I've got a great team with Shad and Andrea. Andrea was the glue that kept all this stuff going this week. I kind of got a little break from it, but she made sure everything was in place. And so we thank you for being here. Please, if you're interested in being in the post show, reach out, and we'll let you give you the I don't know what you call it, the link. Yeah. If anyone doesn't have anything else, we can just do our Patriot Pride and move on to the next step.
Yeah, me and Angie just want to thank y'all for having us on, and thank you for doing what you're doing. And we know that y'all are saving lives every day. And I just want to let all these first responders and veterans know that, if it's not your organization, my organization, just reach out to somebody, There's so many organizations out there right now that are focused on first responders and military vets, that just reach out to somebody when you start feeling that way and start feeling down, and somebody's going to be out there to talk to you. But we thank you, though, for everything that y'all are doing.
And our unsung heroes, our family members.
And especially the family members, because I feel that they're a lot of times stronger than us veterans and first responders. They have to be to put up with us.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, you guys.
We got your 6 at 6. Patriot Pride.